Today, I'm breaking down the top 10 reasons why headphones not only can be used for mixing and mastering, but why they oftentimes outperform speakers. And before the comment section starts to explode, yes, I'll address all the so-called expert counter arguments. Now, before you check out on me, make sure that you stick around for all 10 of these counter arguments. And by the way, number one is probably one you wouldn't have even thought about. Okay, and point number 10 is that with headphones, room acoustics are no longer a problem. Now, the popular argument is that you need a treated room for accurate mixing. However, the reality check is that's true if you're using speakers. But in headphones, the room is irrelevant. No reflections, no standing waves, no weird bass buildups. You're getting the sound directly from the source, no coloration from a bad environment. So many home studios have less than ideal rooms, like mine as well, and headphones completely sidestep this issue. And point number 9, headphones allow for consistency across listening environments. Now, the argument is that speakers translate better. However, translation is about knowing your monitoring system to begin with, not just the medium itself. So with headphones, your monitoring environment remains essentially the same every single time. No changing room acoustics, no different speaker placements, just pure consistency. And point number 8 is that headphones reveal more detail. The argument has always been that speakers let you feel the music. However, that might be true for a club mix, but if you're talking about detail, then compression artifacts and tiny reverb tails, as well as phase issues, headphones are unmatched. There's a reason why forensic audio experts use headphones and not speakers. Now, point number 7 is the cost to quality ratio, which actually favors headphones. Now, the argument has always been that good speakers are better than good headphones. And while that may be true to some extent, at what cost? A $300 pair of high-end open back headphones will outperform a $300 set of studio monitors in accuracy any day. Now, to get that level of detail from speakers, you need a treated room and thousands of dollars of gear. So you do the math. And point number 6, why headphones outperform speakers is that there are no noise complaints, like if you're living in an apartment or you have a neighbor and there's no volume restrictions whatsoever. Now, the straw man argument for this is that speakers are just more natural and they recreate the space better. However, try mixing on speakers at 2 a.m. in an apartment complex. Now, headphones allow for detailed mixing anytime, anywhere, without annoying neighbors, roommates, or family members getting in your way of doing so. Now, point number 5 as to why I believe that headphones are better than speakers is that the stereo imaging is actually more precise. Now, a lot of times the argument has been that speakers give a more natural stereo field. If you've noticed, sort of the word that is constantly kicked around here is natural. Now, maybe for casual listening, that is the case, but for pinpoint accuracy, which is what we're trying to do in most mixing situations, in headphones, the left and right channels are completely isolated, allowing you to hear painting and stereo width and phase issues with surgical precision. So point number 4 is that with headphones, you can mix anywhere in the world. And the argument has always been, well, speakers let you mix in a real world environment. And although that might be true, what is your real world environment? Is it a hotel room, a coffee shop, or a tour bus? Headphones allow you to work from anywhere, removing the need for a stationary mixing space. Point number 3, professional engineers have used headphones for decades. Now, a lot of people would say that real pros don't mix on headphones. However, reality check. Andrew Sheps, the Grammy Award engineer behind Adele, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Metallica, mixes almost exclusively on headphones. Likewise, Chad Blake, same story. If it's good enough for them, I'm sure it's going to be good enough for you. And point number 2 is that modern headphone technology has come a long way. Now, in the past, people would say that headphones lack a sense of space. And maybe that was true in the past, but not anymore. Software like SonarWorks and Waves NX and Acoustica Sienna now stimulate real-world speaker environments, giving you the best of both worlds. Now, add in a binaural and spatial audio advances on top of that, and headphones are closing the gap fast. Now, the number one point that I want to make is to why I believe that headphones will outperform speakers any time of the day is because they force you to rely on your ears and not your room. Now, the argument has always been just speakers are just better, which is not really a very good argument. But the best mixing engineers actually rely on their ears and not their gear. Headphones remove the crutch of room acoustics forcing you to focus purely on frequency balance, dynamics, and stereo imaging. Now, if you can mix well in headphones, your skills are going to translate everywhere else. So the next time someone tells you you have to mix on speakers, ask them why. Because when you break it down logically, the old school arguments, they just don't hold up anymore. Headphones are not just a backup solution. They're a professional tool that in many cases outperforms speakers. Now, I'd like to know what you think about this. Do you mix on headphones predominantly? Let's talk about that in the comment section down below. And if you found this video helpful, make sure that you hit that like button and subscribe for more no-nonsense audio content. Until next time, remember that we can dream alone, we can even create alone, but together we can achieve so much more.